right, greetings, ChampCar racers. Welcome to your virtual drivers meeting for your TireRack.com ChampCar Endurance Series race coming up here at Laguna Seca. We'll take a minute and thank all of our sponsors as usual, including Frozen Rotors, Racing Radios, Lifeline Fire Suppression, RVA Graphics and Wraps, Bell Racing, the official helmet of ChampCar, NLA Parts, and UUC Motorworks. Also take a minute and thank our class sponsors, Discovery Parts, MoneyShiftRacing.com, and Krispy Kreme. And a huge thank you to the Chandler School. The Chandler School supports our Sportsmanship Award. You'll hear me talk more about them at the award ceremony on Sunday, but they're a great organization and really happy to give the Sportsmanship Award out in their name. So a huge thank you to the sponsors. Big thank you to you guys. The race is filled up nicely. Looking forward to being back out there in California. We should have a pretty full field. The weather looks good, and happy to be back out there. So moving right along, I'm going to try and keep this short. The information is pretty standard. We will have a normal in-person drivers meeting on Saturday and Sunday before the race. We will also be conducting a new to ChampCar meeting Friday afternoon. Forget the exact time. If I can glance over here real quickly, it looks like about 5 o'clock on the SUPs. If you are new to ChampCar racing, if you are new to wheel-to-wheel racing, or if it's just been a while and you'd like a little bit of a deep dive refresher on how ChampCar officiates a race and what you can expect, please make your way to the new to ChampCar meeting on Friday. Also, we have a video version of it available on our website. It is on our forum. It's stickied up top on the race events, and there will be a link to it in the email that this video came to you in the final information email. So feel free to check those things out. So moving on here, just a quick reminder on pit lane. Remember the way ChampCar officiates our pit lane. All drivers stop at pit in. You get your timer. All drivers stop at pit out all the time, always, doesn't matter. ChampCar rules, you stop at pit out all the time. Be prepared to show your driver's wristband. You'll have your driver wristband on your left arm. They will check your helmet for a current safety decal. We will do a cursory check of your safety equipment. I'm going to make my great big liability statement here. I make it all the time. It's your responsibility to buckle your driver into the car safely. We are doing a courtesy check. We'll check the window net, make sure that your shoulder belts are over your head and neck restraint properly, make sure your helmet's buckled, that kind of stuff. We're doing a quick cursory check, but if it's something that we can't fix, then we're going to have to send you back to your pits and get you guys straightened out. So as you're going through your pit stop, please just take those couple extra seconds during your driver change. Make sure that your drivers are buckled into the car properly. Once you get down there to pit out, they'll check the timer, check your safety equipment, check your wristband, and they'll send you on your way. If you got fuel, you must spend 5 minutes on pit lane. That is measured from pit in to pit out. That time does not count toward either driver in the stint. 5 minutes on pit lane. If you did not take fuel, you don't have to spend the 5 minutes. You still have to stop. You'll still get your safety gear checked. They'll still check your driver wristband and your helmet sticker, but you tell them no fuel and they'll let you go. If you're fortunate enough to knock out your pit stop really, really quickly, please don't send your car down to pit out with several minutes remaining on the timer, because then we just have to move you away somewhere and park you while you run out your 5 minutes. Take that time to check your car over, check your driver over. But if you get down to pit out with 10, 15, 20 seconds on the timer, that's no problem. We'll check the equipment. The folks at pit out will give you a quick hand countdown and send you on your way. So more about that at the drivers meeting on Friday and Saturday. I won't belabor it here. Just remember that if you do take fuel on your pit stop, from the moment the gas cap comes off to the moment the gas cap goes back on and all the burny stuff gets back over the wall. That's your last remaining half-empty fuel jug and your drip pan. Remember your drip pan, 3-inch hard-sided drip pan to catch any spills. Once all that stuff gets back over the wall, you're considered to be fueling. Okay, gas cap off to gas cap on and stuff over the wall, you're fueling. During that time period, you're only allowed 5 people over the wall. 1 person handling fuel jugs, 5-gallon jugs max, 1 jug at a time. 1 person handling the fire extinguisher, 10-pound ABC dry chemical fire extinguisher, charged, pin pulled, ready to do its job. Driver in, driver out, and 1 person to assist the driver getting in and out of the car. During that fueling process, the only other thing you can do other than take fuel is change the driver. Just the driver. No camera batteries, no cool suit water, no lug nuts, no engine changes, no aero adjustments, anything. Figure most of you can go, for easy math sakes, 2 hours. Let's assume you can go 2 hours on a fuel stint. It's 120 minutes. The fueling process takes about 2. We're asking for your undivided attention on the fueling process and the safety concerns around that for 2 minutes out of every 120. Okay, so just please focus on the fueling from the gas cap off to gas cap on. After that gas cap is on and the remaining stuff is over the wall, you can service the car however you need, however many people you want over to do it. You can do whatever you need to on the car. If you got to make really, really big services to the car, like, an engine change, if you're going to be over 30 minutes, please take your car back behind the wall to the paddock. Most of you should have your own pit stall at this race, or maybe 2 cars on the same team sharing a spot. So it's not like you're going to be tying up anybody else's space, but just be kind to your neighbors around you. Please remember that no one in ChampCar is looking for a reason to ding you, find a fault, administer a penalty. So it's not a penalty thing. We're not going to be out there nitpicking on the 30 minutes. But if you're going to be out there doing some major changes longer than 30 minutes, please take your car behind the wall. If you're at 29 minutes and you're almost done, nobody's going to kick you out at 30. If you tell us, hey, I need 2 more minutes, it's all good. Just try to use that 30 minutes as a rule of thumb. Other than that, spend your 5 minutes on pit lane, change your fuel, change your driver, go back out and have yourself a great race. Talk about flags real quick. Again, we'll cover it at the driver's meeting, but just remember your couple of flag conditions. Standing yellow flag in ChampCar, 70% race speed. Waving yellow flag in ChampCar, 50% race speed. We use what we call line of sight, which means if you can see that flag is for you. Once you can see the flag, slow down 50% or 70%, get in line, nose to tail, proceed through the incident area. Once you are past the incident and you can see that there is no flag at the next flag station, then you can go back to green flag racing. Pretty straightforward, right? Again, we'll talk a little bit more at the driver's meeting, or if you guys got any questions, we'll cover it in more detail. One thing I did want to talk about as far as flagging, I mentioned this on a couple of posts on the forum, and we've published it on our supplemental rules, but we are going to have our Flagtronic system out there and running. If you haven't seen it before, it's made up of a couple of different units. There will be a control system up in race control. There will be handheld controllers at each corner station. There will be LED panels at each corner station. And there will be a small, about 3-inch by 1-inch device that will be in your car, mounted up somewhere like right in front of the driver, like right on the cowl over the gauges, someplace that's right in their line of sight. We've had some teams that have mounted it like over on the side, thinking they would look at it occasionally. That doesn't have it. It needs to be right up front, someplace where the driver it'll draw their attention when the conditions change. That Flagtronics device will show full course yellow. It's also coordinated for local yellows. So when you pass into the area for that flag station, the Flagtronics unit will automatically click over to whatever the condition of that flag station is. So if the local flagger has pressed the button and they're under a local yellow, it will trigger yellow when you go into that sector. When you leave the sector for that station and get into the next station, it will kick over to green, or it will maintain yellow if the next flag station is yellow. So it'll control it both ways. We can also send individual commands to it for black flag, etc. It's also set up to help with our pit timing. We will still be using our little manual, highly complex, solely developed by ChampCar kitchen timers. There's no way to sugarcoat it. They're a kitchen timer with a magnet on it because they're a kitchen timer with a magnet. But the Flagtronic system will delineate your pit stall also. So as you go into pit lane, your Flagtronic system will kick over to your pit timer, and it should, depending upon when they press the button within a couple of seconds, marry up with the hand timer. So you'll have 2 methods where you're going down pit lane to watch your pit lane time. You'll have the original kitchen timers that we used to use, and you'll also have the Flagtronic system. We've demoed this thing this year. It has worked really, really well. Bring it out there as part of our development system because it helps us develop a new track. And I wanted the whole country to have the opportunity to try this thing out and use it. They are not mandatory right now, but getting them is free. We're not charging any rental fees with them. They are for sale if you want to pick one up, but for this race, they are free to use. They take up no space. There's that little 1-inch by 3-inch device that goes on the dashboard. There's a small little battery pack in the wiring harness. There's a tiny little GPS antenna that will go up on the dashboard, someplace with a view of the sky. They're held on with a tiny little bit of Velcro, and you need a power supply. Either a 12-volt cigarette lighter or a USB plug is all you need. Don't have a cigarette lighter in your car? That's okay. The guys from Flagtronics are bringing some extras along. All you got to do is hook the cigarette lighter up to 12-volt power in the car, and you are all set. And it will continue to run with the little inline battery when you kill the power for the car while you're doing your pit stop. the inline battery will keep the pit timer alive and the system won't lose any memory and whatnot. That's literally all it takes to run this thing. So we're going to have plenty of them for everybody. Please come get one when you're at registration. Put the thing in the car, try it out, give us your feedback on it. We are still doing some development work with it, but so far the system has been really, really good, and we're looking forward to running it out there at Laguna Seca. Some of you may be wondering about two-way communication and whatnot with the hills and the fences. We're bringing 5 antenna repeaters along with us, so we should have a clear view of the track everywhere, so there shouldn't be any flaws or any dead space in it. If for any reason, this has come up a couple times, if for any reason the state on your Flagtronics unit and the state of what you are seeing at the local flag station are different, I want you to default to the safer of the two conditions. What that means is if it's showing yellow in a flag station and the corner worker does not have his or her flag out yet, it means they've pressed the button and they just haven't grabbed the flag. So assume you're under yellow. Same thing the other way around. If the Flagtronics system is still showing green, but you look and you can see the corner worker is madly waving his or her flag, there's a reason for that. They just haven't had a chance to press the button yet. So default to the safer of whatever the two conditions are if you see a conflict between yellow and green. Hope that makes sense. We could talk about it a little bit more on Saturday before the race. Move in on Friday. There is another club that has the track rented on Friday. We weren't able to grab it when we did our booking, so there is a club in there. As I understand it right now, things may change when we get a little bit closer, but we should be doing tech and registration Friday when we move in at a place they call the Island, which I guess is a delineated area inside the gate, but before we move into the paddock. I'm told there's enough room there for us to get the cars unloaded, a covered space that we can do registration. Shouldn't have any issues there. And then after that club is done, we can all just move down into our pits and our garages. Your pit assignments will be attached in the email that this video came in. Quick note on registration. Please make sure you log in and make sure your drivers are all paid up. Remember, we are a member-owned club, so you must have a current membership in ChampCar to participate in the event. If you can, please get your payments and whatnot taken care of. It makes registration go a lot more quickly, a lot more simply. And if this is your first race of the year, team captains, I said this in a previous email, but if you haven't had a chance to look at it, when you log in, check your registration page for this race. There will be a tab that says submit a tech form. Click on that tab, fill your tech form out just like you used to fill out your logbook or the paper tech form, your basic car information, anything you've done to the car, parts, square footage of materials, whatever. It'll total up the VPI value for your car, save that form, and that's all you need to do to fill out your tech inspection form. When you get to tech, we will simply check your safety equipment, click save on your annual tech, and send you over to registration. It has dramatically sped up the tech process for the cars going through the tech when you get to the racetrack. If you've already done it for 2021, then you don't have to do it again. If you've made changes to your car, you can just update your form, but you do not need to go back through tech inspection. The only thing we're checking at tech is safety equipment. So as long as you've not touched your safety equipment in your car, your 2021 tech inspection sticker is still good. Head over to registration, finish up with them, get your wristbands, and you are done for the day. So we've really tried to speed up the tech and registration process for you guys. And we've had good luck everywhere else, and hoping for the same thing we get out there in California. That is all I have got. Oh, wait. Sound. Did we forget about sound? I might have forgot about sound. I hope you haven't forgotten about sound. Raise your hand if you've never been to Laguna Seca and you didn't know about sound. Shouldn't see too many hands out there. There is a 90 dB limit at Laguna Seca. If you're not sure what your car hits and you're not sure what your sound is, but you're assuming it's okay, at 90 dBs, you can practically hear the grass growing, okay? So if your car is loud, if your neighbors complain, if the nice lady who walks her dog looks at you really angrily when you're out testing your race car, your car is probably too loud, okay? I cannot emphasize this enough. It is part of the park system out there. It's a county-owned piece of property. So we have nothing to do with sound for ChampCar. All we do is relay the message. Simply stated, they use a 1-2-3 method for sound enforcement. The specific details are posted up on our supplemental rules, and they're available on Laguna Seca's website. But in short, you get 3 tries. That's it. On the 3rd try, you're out. Done for the day. Day 2, you get 1 shot. That's it. So if you're not sure, put a muffler on your car. And I think Bill had put some information up about this on the forum, but put a muffler, not a flow-through pipe, not a resonating chamber, not a glass pack, an actual muffler. Go saw the one off somebody's minivan or something and stick it on there. There might be a Kia with ChampCar information on it that you can steal one muffler off of if Bill doesn't see you coming. But other than that, you probably need to go ahead and just get a muffler in your car. All kidding aside, you guys have been there before, you know the drill, but 90 dBs is really quiet. So if you're not sure, take a look at your sound system on the car, your exhaust system rather. Don't forget your intake track. That whistle through the intake can actually create some noise too. But fair warning, guys, it's Laguna and sound is an issue. So hope we didn't end that on a bad note, but I wanted to get that information out to you guys as early and often as possible. So with that said, I'm going to pause for a second while I look at Paulie. Yeah, I got a thumbs up from Paulie. So, all right. So we are done. Thank you guys very much. I'm really excited to be back out in California, and we will see you guys. Well, it's a couple weeks when I record the video, but it'll probably be a week out when you actually see the email. So I'll go ahead and say, I'll see you in a week. Thanks guys. Bye.